seed mantra. You start with a seed and you plant the seed. But the little seed can have a very large plant. You know, it really has big things on those little black things. You know how big the tree is if you actually plant that? A fig tree? Huge! It's a very, very big tree. One starts out of a very little pig. Figs.
Figs?
Figs.
Figs. Oh.
And same thing with the seed mantra. They're saying Bij mantra. Bij means seed. Bij mantra sabko gyan. The seed mantra sheds light, sheds wisdom on any situation. Any situation. You have a question, you know, should I go east or should I go west? Should I take this job or should I take that job? Should I go or should I stay? And just look at it in the light of Sat Naam. And you have an answer. Sat Naam means your truthful self. Sat, we didn't call it the true name, the real name. Basically it means you being authentic, being true to yourself. With the staying true to you? Or is it more true to your essential values, your integrity? And, you know, in conventional thinking, you say to somebody, be yourself. But conventional thinking is not that. Here in the West is not so. Even in the East, I don't think conventional thinking quite grasps the nature of the question. For example, in English, just for example, in English some things I like and some things I don't. One thing I like in English is the symbol for I. You know, it's a very transcendent symbol. It goes like this. It's just from the heavens down to the earth. And it gives it, if you look at it symbolically, or in Indian philosophy, it's called the lingam. But basically it's a straight line from the heavens down to the earth. And that's who I am. I connect the heaven and the earth. And you do as well. If you realize it, if you recognize it, if you live in the consciousness, if you live consciously. What some people do, which is interesting, because you can study handwriting, how people write. Some people's letters, they tilt this way, some people are more reticent, they more conservative, they tilt that way, they tilt backwards, tilt forwards, tilt backwards. But what I find interesting about the I symbol is some people, you know they do, they put a big line on the top and a big line on the bottom. Maybe some of you even look at your handwriting sometimes. And basically you're putting, you're limiting yourself. There's this infinite symbol here, and you say, that's me. I'm just doing here and here, beyond that, forget it. I exist in and of the and for the earth. That's what you're saying. It's a fearful kind of a symbol. Just look at it sometime. Is that me? When I started to study handwriting, my handwriting changed. Because I realized it's an expression of myself. And I am that expression. Once we express ourselves, and then we really look at our expression, and then we may like or we may not like what's getting expressed, and then we may decide to, through our expression, to change ourselves. If we look at ourselves one day and we see that we're actually being quite angry with other people and hurtful to other people, we may look at that and say, is that me? And decide to change our behavior. And by changing our behavior, we also change the essence of who and what we are, our identity, which is a good thing. So, as I was saying, in this culture, you say, be yourself. What does that mean? You know, be relaxed. No, it doesn't mean just be relaxed. It means be very focused. Conventionally, we exist by instinct and by action and reaction. In the Indian philosophical system, Guru Nanak, we say we have Charapat, we have 4 states of awareness. 4 states of awareness. And one is you don't even know, you don't even remember. It's your deep sleep. In Abu Ghraib, you know, anybody who practices the art, the fine art of breaking people down, torture, they know that the best way to eliminate people's sleep, and they lose their mind, they lose their resistance, they lose everything. But why? Because it's so essential to us to go into that. We don't even remember it, but we have to go there. with frequency, every 24 hours, it's a very, very good idea to get some sleep. And a couple of hours, an hour, very deep, dreamless sleep. And that's one state, one of the four. Other state is the dreamful sleep. The dreamful sleep, and that is a restless kind of sleep. It's been studied that actually you burn calories, you secrete hormones. If you dream that you're jumping off a cliff or being pushed off a cliff, you also secrete the fear hormone as though you were actually flying off the cliff. It's not a restful sleep, but it's also part of our existence. And then we have ordinary reality, which here we are, and we bump around and we do pretty much what everybody else is doing, and we act reactively. Somebody yells at you, you yell back. You just go with the crowd pretty much, and that's the third state. But the fourth state is the state of where you really be yourself. We did exercise your excellency. You be your excellent self, which is the essence of who and what you are. You be the self that has no regrets. Last week we talked about regrets. Who wants to go there? So in this fourth state, you live without fear. You live with authenticity. You live very purely and aligned with your essential being, and that is that state. And it's, in a sense, it is very similar to the dreamless sleep because you're merged in the infinite. You're merged in the infinite. Whereas your dreaming life and your ordinary waking life, you're very much in your bound by this world. Whether it's a real world or a dream world doesn't really make a whole lot of difference. We're creating karma. But when we live as Sat Naam, then we can exit from the karma. In English, it's funny how our sense of self, be yourself, is very odd. We can say that somebody is very selfish, and that's a bad thing. We can say somebody is very self-absorbed, and that's not a good thing. But then we can say somebody is self-realized, that's a very good thing. Same word. It's a reflection of how we use the word self in opposite ways. It's a reflection as a culture of our confusion of who we are, who self is. But Sat Naam, Guru Ramdas said, Japa man is Sat Naam, Sada Sat Naam. He says, Jap means to resonate, a yogic practice, to keep repeating, ingrain it in yourself. Who and what you are. Sat Naam. I am happy, I am good, Sat Naam, Sat Naam. These are all japa. So it ingrains into your mind that I am excellent by my nature. I'm not bound by this world. And I am at my best when I'm living in a responsible and responsive way. That rather than a reactive way. Notice the distinction between reacting to somebody and responding to somebody. It means being thoughtful, being reflective, coming from your meditative mind, your neutral mind, rather than just dog barks at you, you bark back. That's not so. Japa mani Satnam, Sada Satnam. The same Satnam, Haranam, same thing. Hara means God, Sat means real. Essentially, it says that you are an embodiment of the divine. Live so. Live as such. How do you do that? You practice. Practice makes perfect. Sadhana means your daily practice, where you do your japa, you do your yoga, have a shower, wake up, and take some initiative. A good yogi takes initiative. They don't need to be initiated by anyone else, really. But they take initiative to rise in the early morning when it's difficult. They take that initiative for themselves, for their own self-realization, to be their Sat Naam, to be their very best. My teacher once described the journey of life as going from Sat Naam to Wahe Guru. Sat Naam is your project. Sat Naam is live your truth. Live your truth, which is not an easy project. Because our truth is so high, and around us, there's a lot of compromise, there's a lot of small-mindedness. Even in our mind, we have small-mindedness, and the conflict is between your magnanimity, your big-mindedness, your heavenly sense, and your little sense, your insecurity, your fear, and your absolute fearless sense. if you can practice your sadhana, if you can practice getting up and it's very difficult, it's very dark, and it's scary outside, it's so dark. As a child, look at it, it's so dark. But if we can practice that, we can overcome our fear to do what? To be yourself. To live in your greatness when perhaps everyone around you isn't really so crazy about it. It happens inevitably. Everyone who finds their strength, somebody's going to resent it. And maybe a whole bunch of people are going to resent it, and they'll try and pull you down. I've seen it many, many times. So you have to not be afraid that other people will pull you down. Trust that you can keep yourself going. If there's a God, the God will back you up. Dedicate yourself to the Guru ball, Sabat Kabbalah, and be your Sat Naam. And along the way, living your truth, comes then the experience of Wahe Guru. What is Wahe Guru? Experience of ecstasy, experience of wow. Wow. People say wow about different things. You can say wow, sometimes the sunshine, rainbows, food, clothes, movies, all kinds of earthly things. But Wahe Guru means wow, Guru. We're enjoying going from Gu, which is dark, to Ru, which is light, and we're saying, this is a great life. I'm really grateful to be on this journey with help of God and Guru, to go living my identity and experiencing the ecstasy of God consciousness. Wow. That's it.